Okay, call the February 2023 meeting to order for South King Fire and Rescue, a regular meeting. And Caroline, is she online?
Caroline's online.
Caroline's on, okay, David's on, and Commissioner Gates is on, and so all the commissioners are present online or in person here at the meeting. Would Commissioner Fuller, would you lead us in the pledge?
With allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the January 24th regular meeting.
I move to approve the January 24th regular meeting minutes.
Commissioner Fuller moved to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, seconded by Commissioner Berger.
Berger.
Any comments, corrections to the minutes? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of approval of the January 24th regular meeting minutes, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Thank you. There are commissioner comments. Commissioner Gates, do you have anything?
Nothing tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Berger?
Nothing at this time. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Commissioner Baldino?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Commissioner Fuller?
Looks like we're off to a roaring start on incidents. Question, where did we end last year on number of incidents?
Something 24,429 or something.
I don't need it. Other than that,
25,000, you said?
yeah, right.
Okay, cool. I have no comments. So, public comments. Any public comments? Any public comments?
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Who is it?
Yeah, this is Cass Monroe. I live in the Steel Lake community.
Okay,
I just want, can you guys hear me? I just can't, you guys are kind of hard to hear.
okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so me and my wife are a longtime taxpayers. We support South King Fire Rescue for the last few years, and I was just wondering if you guys could make comment on possibly closing down the Twin Lakes ambulance.
I'm not quite sure what you're asking something about an ambulance.
Yes, I was wondering. I heard that possibly you guys are considering closing the Twin Lakes ambulance.
Would that be the Station 63 acre?
That is correct. I believe so.
Okay. Chief, you want to answer that?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe what the gentleman is referring to is age 63. That's Station 63. Is that correct? Well, I'll assume it is. That ACAR is, we've run some recent numbers, and then we found that ACAR has been in service about 70% of the time. It is currently under review as to whether or not we want to restaff that ACAR full time. That decision has not been made yet. However, it's under review as we speak.
Okay, thank you. And just to clarify, I remember voting the last few years for a initiative to staff that ACAR? Is that correct by chance?
I didn't get all that.
We can't really understand you very well. Are you speaking on a
Oh.
phone, or can you get a little closer to the microphone or what have you, so we get a little bit clearer sound?
Yeah, you guys are hard to hear too. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering, can you guys comment? Do you know the last few initiatives that were sent to the citizens that we voted yes on? Was that related to staffing that ACAR?
Publicly staffing the ACAR, I can't do it from memory. This is the chief. I can't do that from memory. I'd have to go back and refer to documents, and I'm not prepared to speak on that tonight. And I'm not
Okay.
ducking that question. I simply don't have the documentation in front of me to answer it correctly.
Okay, thank you for that there, sir. Would you be able to speak on that at the next meeting, possibly?
Yeah, I think we can do that. Absolutely.
All right, thank you so much. I have one more question if I have time.
Go ahead.
I also heard that, are you guys breaking down the care unit? And I don't know if it's the same. I have some family members that live in Bellevue, and I really feel like a care unit that helps kind of alleviate some of the citizen problems that are going on around our area might not be the best idea. I was just wondering what your guys' thoughts of closing that care unit down.
Yeah, again, I can encapsulate this a little bit for you. We had developed a tentative plan with the Des Moines Police Department to expand the CARES program after we shut the partnership down with FERPA, or Valley Regional Fire Authority, and we were going to take that under our own control. During that planning phase, our labor union filed an unfair labor practice against us, and we stopped all forward movement on the development of that plan. Just recently, the labor union and the district have come to a resolution over that unfair labor practice. And so the intent is to bring the CARES, or a renamed version of CARES, back online. That too is in the planning phase. We're not completely ready to roll that out yet because we're not fully identifying everything we need to do to make it work. However, the intent is to have it operational at some point during this year. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you for that. And then lastly, I just want to say, I've had to call South King a few times for my house, unfortunately, but they have been just amazing. I wasn't home at one of the events, and so hats off to the crews that responded. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your call and your questions and what have you. Feel free to contact the chief by phone anytime if you have any further questions regarding some of our operations. Thanks again for taking the time to address the community. Is there any other public comments? Any other public comments? One more time, any public comments? Okay, hearing none, we're moving on to Commissioner Committee reports. Are there any, we don't have any committee reports at this time. Okay, moving on to number 7. It's a memorandum of understanding regarding civilian employee standby time, or standby pay.
I'll defer to Mitch Lee on this one.
Yeah, so in our last snowstorm, we had developed a procedure. I asked them, just being new to the divisions, I asked them what the process was to snowplow stations. And so as we were developing the process, like we quickly realized that our employees were on standby, but they were not being fairly compensated for the standby time. So we looked at the contract and it appears that it was not in their current CBA. So as a result of that, as part of a greater plan, when we do go into standby, I want to ensure that our staff are adequately compensated for their time.
Okay. What kind of shift were they working during the snow?
Well, for example, we anticipate a snowstorm, a significant event that's going to occur, let's just say Saturday and it's a Friday, I would, the chief or the designee, myself, would say, okay, you guys are officially on standby pay. And so if the snow hits, they would be ready on call. They would show up to work, get the snow plow, and go around the stations and plow the front aprons of the fire stations, so that way it's clear for response.
Okay. So what are you looking for from us? Do you have a memorandum of understanding drafted up?
Yes, sir. It should be in the commissioner packet. Lori, is that correct? Yes, it should be in your commissioner packets.
Okay, I guess we're looking for a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding.
I'll move approval of the memorandum of understanding, Mr. Chairman. This is Dave Berger.
Commissioner Berger moved to approve the memorandum of understanding. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Fuller. Any discussion of the memorandum?
Civilian employee, that's not a firefighter, it's a civilian.
That is correct.
Okay.
Historically, it's been the fleet division. Ken has been responsible for snowplow, but in discussion with Sean, our new facility supervisor, we determined that it lives in his world. But due to lack of people and resourcing, the two divisions are going to get together, and we're developing a storm procedure that involves both of them in resourcing what that looks like, all the way down to where the snow is going to be placed in every station. We have diagrams being drawn as we speak.
Sounds good. Any other comments on the memorandum of understanding? Okay. All in favor of approving the memorandum of understanding for the standby civilian employees, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Passed unanimously. Okay, administrative team report, Chief.
I will defer to the board. If you have any specific questions of any of the team members, fire away.
Oh, I've always had questions, so I'll start with, under logistics, we're going to be replacing some ballistic panels. How often are the vests worn?
Oh, worn?
Yeah.
That's a tough one to quantify. We'd have to go back and look at all of the types of calls, but I would say that the semi-routine measure. The replacement, however, is driven on expiration based on the manufacturer. And of course, normal wear and tear would dictate they'd be replaced sooner if necessary, but I'm not sure I could give you a hard number on how much they're worn, other than to say fairly routinely.
Okay, that's what I was looking for.
Okay.
The Marine team, we drove with the Coast Guard and Tacoma Fire. We got some feedback from them, how it's going, how happy they are with our performance.
Yes, yes. It's been very well, well received and very beneficial for a lot of reasons, not only the skill set that the Coast Guard's been dealing with our own platform with, but also just the kind of the learning more from them that do a lot more maritime operations. It's now grown to Tacoma Fire, who originally was a periodic participant. I would say they're still periodic, but now it's more frequent than in the past. And then also West Pierce Fire has been coming up from Pierce County as well.
That's great.
That's great.
Owls lose.
The owls. Under policy work, I haven't seen any that I need to acknowledge in the last several months?
So it's out of the policies a little bit. You have access to see all of them, but unless it's something that directly affects the commissioner role and what you do, you're not asked to acknowledge them. So if you go in there, there's over 100, so if you open the app, you're on your phone or computer, you can see them all.
Yeah, okay.
So what we do is just based on what it is, and there are a couple, actually, I need to work with Joe and come bring some to you. But yeah, you only see the ones that really directly are affected by your job.
Okay, but I just hadn't seen any. At first, there was a flurry of them, and it.
Well, and early on, they were very broad, so they did impact you guys. We're really into some off stuff now. I have 5 more going out tomorrow, 5 or 6, and so forth, but they're almost all now. We're at a point where it's really about operations. I mean, even the civilian staff is seeing a fraction of what the operations people are seeing. But you can see any of them at any given time.
Okay. Yeah, they're very interesting.
Tomorrow afternoon, there'll be another group.
In the training area, it says once again, that we are pleased to bring back post-academy training. We didn't have post-academy training.
We did some time ago, and then for a variety of reasons, it died on the vine. To Chief Smith's and Chief Van Volkenberg's credit, they suggested that we re-implement that. I believe it's very valuable to our new people that are coming in to the organization, coming fresh out of the academy, coming back here to get some South King centric training. So going forward, I would expect that would continue.
It seems it would be essential to have that specialized, here's our tribal dances, this is how we do things. Yep, okay.
Okay, any other questions?
Through the chair, this is Dave Berger. Chief Matafton, I was pleased to see, as I'm sure all the commissioners are pleased to see, that the updated employee handbook is nearing completion. Given that commissioners participate in the joint labor management meetings and issues that may relate to matters that are covered in the employee handbook come up from time to time, I think it would really be helpful, at least in my case, if I could get a copy once that's complete. So just have the same reference as the rest of the organization, have that handy to know what the compensation and other aspects of employee-employer relations that are reflected in the employee handbook.
I'm sure we can make that happen, Commissioner.
Thank you, Dave.
Any other questions for the admin team? One more time. Any questions for the admin team? Okay, moving on. Hearing none. We have the February budget. Kelsey?
I will just share with the board that we're narrowing the gap. We had a pretty, large year-to-date expense in January. As I shared last month, that's expected anytime we transition into a new year. As of February this year, or as of the second month of this year, we're at 1.14% under budget. Sorry, I was thrown off by that. And with the particulars, Kelsey is not available tonight, but our payroll specialist, Lorraine, will be reading the numbers to you.
Okay, Lorraine, you're on.
Okay. The mid-month warrants were totaling $115,913.85. The accounts payable warrants totaled $1,302,879.58. The payroll direct deposit totaled $1,352,117.63. Payroll taxes totaled $291,971.18. And medical claims processed as of February 14th totaled $275,565.81 for a grand total of $3,338,448.05, which brings us in at 17.81%, which is 1.14% over budget.
Okay, any questions, Lorraine? Okay, hearing none, thank you, Lorraine.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Approval of the vouchers. Have a motion to approve the vouchers?
Move that we approve the vouchers for January.
Commissioner Fuller that moves to approve the vouchers. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Valdino was first in, so thank you very much. Any questions on the vouchers? All in favor of paying the vouchers, say aye. Raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Those against paying the bill? Unanimously passed to pay the bill. Okay, board's going to adjourn into an executive session to request the revisions to the purchase and sale agreement on the 320th property. For RCW 42.30.110 1C, to consider the minimum price at which real estate will be offered for sale or lease when public knowledge regarding such consideration would cause a likelihood of decreased price. However, final action, selling or leasing public property shall be taken in a meeting open to the public. Joining the board in the executive session will be Chief Matafton, Executive Director Ganem, Division Chief Smith, Director Lee, Executive Secretary and Board Secretary Lori Perry, Legal Counsel Eric Quinn, and Joe, is he going to attend, Eric, or?
No, Joe's not attending this evening, but I believe Evan Schneider is with us from Heartland.
Okay, and then we have Matt Anderson and Evan Schneider, the brokers. At this time, we will recess for 5 minutes to get everyone transferred into the executive session. We anticipate the executive session lasting 30 minutes, and action may or may not be taken after the executive session. At the end of the executive session, we will take a 2-minute recess to get everyone transferred back over to the regular meeting. Okay? Thank you very much, and we'll see you in 30 minutes.